Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mama Wears Athleisure. I am your host, Mariela de Santiago, a first-time mom. We focus on all things mom with tips to help make life easier and more organized for all you mamas out there. Hi, everyone. Today I am here with Jessie, and we're going to talk about cloth diapers and disposable diapers.
Hi, yes, my name is Jessie Stokes, and I'm the owner and founder of the Tiny Yellow Bungalow eco shop and sustainable living blog. And so I have an online shop that specializes in all things sustainable and plastic free. Yeah, I have 2 kids of my own who I'm trying to raise sustainably. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So I noticed that you do tend to post a lot about how, as moms, we're like, oh, we're going to be super sustainable with kids. And obviously, once you become a mom, it's really hard to keep up with, or things always come up where it might be really challenging. So you kind of have to make that decision of well, what's better for my situation? So with that, I just want to go into cloth diapers versus disposable diapers because I myself ran into this situation and I've opted to go both routes. So I do cloth diapers at home, and then anytime we're out and about, we do disposable just because it's easier for us.
I agree with you, though. I think that a lot of people, when it comes to cloth diapering, they think it has to be just black and white. You can only be a cloth diapering mother and you can't be anything in between. And that's just not true. And I think it makes things a lot less stressful if you tell yourself, going to give myself some grace. It's something, different and new. Let me try it out, see how I like it. And yeah, doing even part-time cloth diapering is important and great and wonderful. Even for us, we use disposables at nighttime. I cloth diaper my son and now with my daughter as well. I just learned from the first time around that having to change the sheets over and over, in the week because we'd have, wet bedding from cloth diapers. I was like, you know what? We're just going to make it easier on mama. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it this way. I want to encourage everyone to try cloth diapers and just know that you can still use disposable diapers. Definitely. Yeah.
And not feel guilty for it.
No, do not feel guilty for using disposable diapers.
So let's talk a little bit about what are some pros to using cloth diapers? How are they good for the environment?
Little babies use about 6,000 diapers for 2 years of diapering in their life. And that's a lot of diapers. So when I first decided to do cloth diapering, it was for environmental reasons. I really was trying to reduce my waste in our house. I realized that 6,000 diapers in 2 years, that's so many. There's got to be a better way. And so I started researching cloth diapers and was like, this sounds amazing. I want to give it a try. So my main reason for using cloth diapers was for eco-friendly reasons. It's a lot less wasteful, not so much trash going to the landfill. It takes almost 500 years for a diaper to completely dispose. That's just a lot of unnecessary diapers sitting in the landfill. And so I think that was my main motivation. But I also know that a lot of people liked cloth diaper because it's cheaper than using disposable diapers. And I'm sure you know that too. But if you just buy a box of diapers, like the ones that we use at night, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so expensive. And can't imagine having to buy these every month. They're very expensive. Again, I looked that up too. And I think it's if you use disposable diapers, it's about $1,000 per year or something for diapers. Cloth diapers are great because they're eco-friendly, but also they can be more economical. And they're also really good for babies that have sensitive skin, a lot less diaper rashes. And one benefit that I always think about that nobody talks about is that there are less blowouts with cloth diapers.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yes. We waited to do cloth diapers until my son was only using about 10 a day. He was using about 25 or more as a newborn. But yes, as soon as we started cloth diapers, no more blowouts. It was incredible, life-changing.
Yes, none of that poop up the back situation, none of that. It's just, I always tell people that I'm like, if you hate dealing with that, get you some cloth diapers.
And you made a really good point about how it is a lot cheaper than buying disposable. Up front, it's initially a higher cost, but in the long run, you end up saving so much more money because you're not buying new diapers every month and you're not having to buy, hopefully, detergent to wash these cloth diapers every month. Hopefully that bag or whatever it is that you're using to clean them is lasting you for a couple months.
Cloth diapers do cost more money up front, like you said, but a lot of my cloth diapers I got secondhand for cheap, or even I had friends give me some. If you look at some of the cloth diapering websites, one diaper might seem really expensive, but you can get secondhand cloth diapers and start from there. And also, a lot of cloth diaper companies do like year-end sales and stuff. If you're pregnant, maybe start thinking ahead and be like, okay, this holiday season, I'm going to stock up, buy a few, if it'll be cheaper that way. So that's always an option too.
Again, another good point that, yeah, you can hold on to them if you plan on having a second or third, or then you're not having to repurchase anything.
Yes, we're using the same diapers from my son. We're using them for my daughter this time around. And so it's great. And I'm sure I'll pass them along to a friend.
Although there's lots of pros, let's dive into the cons.
Yes, no, absolutely. I think people need to come at it with like an honest viewpoint of it. And that people are like, cloth diapering is best, but it is more time consuming. It takes more time because you do have to wash the diapers. We're already doing a ton of laundry at our house, so it's not that big of a deal, just one more load. But if you're someone who hates doing laundry, maybe you don't want to do cloth diapers because it's a lot of laundry.
Or you consider a diaper service, but then that brings the cost up.
That's right. That's true. Yes. I guess it depends on like what your intentions are. What do you want to use cloth diapers for? Is it because it's cheaper, better for the environment, for your baby skin? What are you looking for? But yeah, it can be a lot of laundry. I don't know. I feel like there's an ick factor to it of just reusing the same diapers. I don't really agree with, because I feel like you're still having to clean someone's diaper either way. What the difference is, you're putting one into a wet bag or you're putting one into the trash can. So for me, it's not that big of a difference, but I think people can't really comprehend that until they try it. People have these ideas of cloth diapering and it seems like, oh gosh, what about the poop?
Yes. Actually, I was going to say, so we use kind of like sheets called tossers. When he goes number 2, you just throw that out. So you don't even have to worry about the poop actually being on the cloth diaper. And it makes it so much easier.
I wish more people knew about that too. And also, I think a lot of people think of cloth diapers as being like a little piece of cloth with like pins in the side, but the diapers now are so modern and they have all these features that are just like way better, like that, like having the little disposable liner that you can just like pick up the liner and toss it. It just makes it so much easier. They fit babies so much better now, like the ways that they're made. It's a whole different thing.
It is. I live in Southern California. So for me, one of the things that I had to consider in a way is, we hear so much about how we're in a drought, and right now we've had some crazy rain, but that was something I had to think about was, well, I'm going to be using a lot more water and, also electricity, but then how much water and electricity does it take to make a disposable diaper? I don't know the answer to that, but it was kind of like weighing that. And yes, it is more time consuming, but we chose that it was just going to be better for our family. But I understand that if people work and don't have the time, or you don't have a washer and dryer in your home, it's really going to be difficult.
Yeah, I really think it's not just black and white. And I think that as far as an environmental perspective as well, like you said, the energy required to wash them, the water, using the dryer, it's much more eco-friendly if you line dry your cloth diapers. There's all these different factors that add into it. And that's why I try not to let anybody think that it's like you can only be eco-friendly if you use cloth diapers. It's just not really true. And so I think you have to do what's right for your family. And if you're someone who works outside of the home, or I know some people who have their kids go to daycare, it might not be an option there to use those. That's something you have to consider as well. So like you had said, maybe even just doing it at home, that could be an option.
Let's talk about the disposable diapers. So what are some pros? And, there's obviously pros for both, but what are some good things about using disposable diapers?
Well, definitely the convenience. That's like number one. At nighttime, since we use disposables at night, before I would have to change my baby's diapers in the night with the cloth diapers. And this way, my baby can just go with one diaper through the night, which really helps when you have a small baby and you're trying really hard to teach them about sleeping at night and you don't want to disturb them too much. When you feed them in the night, you're like, oh, let's just try to do as little as we can. And that's really helped a lot, not having to not change her diaper in the night.
Whenever we travel, that is one of the nice things, is that you don't have to pack all of these cloth diapers. If you're going to be flying somewhere, you could just purchase them at Target or wherever it is that you can get some diapers.
Yes. And even this about disposable as well, I don't know a lot about them, but I know a lot of companies are starting to make like compostable diapers. Have you heard about that? Like
EcoBoom is what we use here and we love them there. They don't have all of like the print, which I think the print is very unnecessary when it comes to diapers. I don't know too much about it, but I just think, why does my son need all of this ink on his diapers? That's just a waste. cost. And I don't know how good that is. A plain, simple diaper that are somehow compostable, biodegradable. And I think some companies even do some sort of like, I don't know if recycling is the right term, but they'll like collect them and dispose of them in some way. And I know that's not very informative, but I haven't looked into it because there's a cost associated with that. And we don't really use enough to probably justify that expense.
Well, and that's a whole nother thing. We all have to diaper our babies, and there's a lot of different options: cloth, disposable, eco-friendly disposable. There's a lot of different things you can do, and they're all cost different prices, and they're all these pros and cons to all of it. There's not really a right answer, I don't think. Everybody needs to do what works best for them and their family, I think.
Diapers are expensive. So if you are struggling just to make ends meet, especially with everything having gone up in price, you kind of just have to go for whatever that you can afford or whatever's accessible to you.
And I know even in my town, there are some cloth diaper banks where you can get cloth diapers for free or for really, really cheap for parents who, yeah, they're like, the cost of diapers is so expensive, but I can't really buy a whole stash. There are other options like that as well, getting some from a cloth diaper bank or something like that, or secondhand on Facebook Marketplace, something like that.
Those are all really great ideas. I didn't know that there were like, diaper banks. That's awesome.
So I had some secondhand diapers that I had gotten from some friends that I used for my son, but the elastics were worn down a lot. And I found a company that would take used diapers and they repair them. They fix the elastics in them, and then they give them to people who might need them, who couldn't afford cloth diapers. So definitely look and see if there's something like that where you live.
What are some things to consider when it comes to deciding whether to go 100% cloth, 100% disposable, or to do a combo of both? So we talked about pricing.
There's the pricing, eco-friendliness, the time that you have. We didn't even talk about newborn cloth diapers. How a lot of cloth diapers these days, they don't fit teeny tiny babies. Often you have to get a stash of newborn cloth diapers. That's a whole nother thing to consider too. I know with my son, I was intimidated by cloth diapering in the beginning, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. We did disposables in the beginning when he was a newborn and waited till he could fit into the cloth diapers that I had. People need to consider all the different factors. Do you have the time? Is being eco-friendly something that matters to you? Is the price, getting them secondhand, getting them brand new? Are you going to have any more kids? Would you use them? If you're going to have more kids, you might consider purchasing them brand new because you are going to be using them for other kids. There's so many factors that go into making the decision. I don't feel like I can tell any one person, like, you need to do this or you need to do that. I think you should come at it with a positive attitude. And I hate when I tell people, oh, I want a cloth diaper, and they're like, you're crazy. We should encourage everybody to parent how they want to do it. Whatever it is they want to do, encourage parents that they have some support. Yeah, like whatever the choice is, we're going to be like, you can do it. You're doing a great job. Being a parent is very hard. Just do what works best for you. I love cloth diapers, but I'm not telling anybody that they have to use cloth diapers.
We love the cloth diapers. I think for me personally, it makes me feel like I'm doing something to hopefully help with the landfill, right? Just constantly going through all of those disposable. I just feel a little bit better knowing that we are hopefully helping out our carbon footprint, but still also acknowledging that for us, it is convenient to be able to use those disposable diapers, and that we are going with the best possible option out there for us. Yeah. So that, again, we're still trying to minimize our carbon footprint and do what we can on our end.
If everybody is doing just their part, just a little bit, I think we can make such a big difference environmentally, at least. It's all of us just trying. If we're all going to be perfectionists, I think it's not going to work out. But if everybody just does their part-time cloth diapering, it's a huge deal, and it makes an impact. And I think it's important.
When I started researching or trying to learn, it was really overwhelming for me to figure out, like, where do you start? What do you need? So I ended up just going, with a company that had great reviews, and that I just felt a little bit more comfortable with the cloth diapers were made out of the material that they use, just because, I had done all of this reading and read what's good, what can be more discomforting for a child and whatnot. And so going with a company just made it easy because they had everything essentially laid out in 2 sizes. So I waited until he hit that weight to be able to use this second size. And then he can use that up until he's, I believe, like 35 pounds. So it's literally up until he is potty trained.
That's really great that you just picked a company and you went with that. I think that's a wonderful option. When we started, I got a bunch secondhand, and I really liked that option mostly because I had a lot of different brands of cloth diapers. And what I realized is I liked some more than others. Like I found as I used different ones, there were some I was like, oh, I don't like how that one fits him. And it's funny because I kept all of them. And now that I'm cloth diapering my daughter, I have different favorite ones for her. And I don't know if it's just different babies, different shapes, but I always recommend that to people too. If they feel discouraged when trying cloth diapers, try another brand, a different style. There's all-in-ones, there's pre-folds, there's a lot of different styles of cloth diapering. And so make it fun. It doesn't have to be so serious. Try a lot of different things, see what you like best, because it might not be what everybody else likes. You might find a brand that you love and someone else might not like it. Like, the diapers that have the cloth that's already sewn into it. I hate those because they take so long to dry. All of my friends had recommended those to me. Oh, you have to have the ones already in there. You don't have to stuff them. And I'm like, I want to stuff all day because the other ones dry really fast. I don't think there's one kind of cloth diaper that is like the right way to go either. I think there's a lot of different ways to do it.
I think when you're first starting out, it's finding what kind of inner you want, the appropriate outer for that. I forgot to mention this. A pro about a cloth diaper is that a lot of those outers also double as swim diapers.
Yes, they do.
And then from there, it's also just making sure that you know how to wash those and you get the proper detergent, buying some sort of detergent from a company that does sell the cloth diapers so that you know that you're using the detergent that isn't going to cause any damage to those diapers and doesn't have any added scent so that it's not causing any discomfort for the baby. I wish that somebody had said that to me because I did all of this research and it was just so overwhelming that finally that's when I was like, I just need one company.
Let me just have this one.
Yes, yeah, it's just so much.
There's a company in my town too that does where you can rent some diapers or you can try them, see, do I like this? Is this something that I want to do? Which I think is really cool too, that you could just try them and just see if it's something that you like, which is another option too. So like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can cloth diaper. It's not one thing. And that's a way that you could try it without feeling the pressure of having to buy a lot of diapers and then not being sure if you liked it or not either.
Do you have any other tips, suggestions, or recommendations? Anything that would be helpful for anyone that is either considering starting cloth diapers or is already about to?
I think just the best thing is to just jump in. Just get started. Just try it. Keep yourself some disposables on the side while you're learning so you don't feel stressed when you're like, I don't have any clean diapers or I'm trying to figure out the detergent. Keep you some disposable on the side while you're figuring it out and just try it. Give it a try. Have some fun. Talk with your friends that do cloth diaper and see what they use and kind of just compile all the advice that you get and go from there.
Thank you for all of that. I think also, well, for me, I had already mentioned this, but those like that inner liner that really is such a time saver and a lifesaver for helping to ensure that your diapers aren't messy. It's going to be a little bit harder with babies that aren't eating solids.
Right.
Because, it's kind of harder to contain their poop. But if your baby's already on solids, this is such a lifesaver. You just throw it away, get rid of it. No scooping or having to scrub anything.
That's a great point too.
Thank you so much, Jessie. I appreciate you taking your time to share and chat with me about this fun topic.
It's been really fun. I'm glad I've had a quiet house for a little bit so we can chat.
Thank you for listening. Tune in next week for our next episode. You can find us on Instagram for more updates and tips. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts and give us a review if you like us.